You already know what time it is. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye back with some tea, interviews, recaps, and more. And be sure to check the links in the description of this video for trips, for books, one-on-one sessions, and more. Now let's get into the tea. What's going on, y'all? We are back in the building. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wild Out Wednesday. I'm going to go ahead and put your comments on the screen. Let me know if you guys can see and hear me clearly. Also, don't be afraid to drop your location down in the chatterization. Let us know where you're watching from. We like to know where in the world our people are watching from. Where in the world is Simon Guabadia? Yes, indeed, y'all. Big Back Cadillac news is back in the building. I don't know what you thought this was, but we back. Okay. Big Back Cadillac checking in from Houston, Texas, baby. How you doing, Houston? Houston's in the building. Philly, Fort Lauderdale. I see you, Jamaica, Potomac, Maryland, down the street. Let's go. Come on, let's get up in this good old jamboree, baby. Thank you guys for joining, tuning in, and tapping in. Make sure you guys like this video when you jump into the room. Like this video if you like reality TV related content, or if you just like me, or if you just like liking things. Okay, just whatever you got to do, just like the video so we can get that algo going. All right. Yes, come on, Bam. Come on, Birmingham, England. Let's go. World to the wide. Now say what now? Let me look up. I gotta look this up, baby. How are we gonna get into some tea before I even get started with the tea? Let me see. Let me see if there's any updates. I don't see nothing on the majors yet. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, to be honest with you, it's not that long to go before November when she would be released anyway, right? So I kind of feel like, I mean, November will be here before you know it. Although it has been a very long 6 months. Y'all, it has been a long 6 months. I mean, come on, spring, summer, September, joggers. Yes, message me on the IG, boo. Message me on the IG, and I'll be able to I'll try to check in. I'll try to keep the IG open while I got the live going. Okay. I'll be looking for your message. Okay. Sooner than that. Let's go, Karen. Let's go. Ooh, if she got out early. Ooh. This would be good. If Karen gets out while they're filming the season, you know they're gonna snap, crackle, and pop and get that lady back up in there. I would be filming her the moment she walked out of the jail. Okay. I would be on that lady like white on rice the moment she left from her cell. Yes. If I were a camera person, I were the network, if I were the production company, it would be boots on the ground right outside the jail, waiting on Kern to make her grand debut. I'm sure she's going to emerge from that place with a fabulous wig, probably pumping down the walkway, pumps stilettos in the club, ginormous sunglasses on, ginormous Starbucks coffee cup in her hand, a la Rachel Zoe from back in the old days. If you are a Rachel Zoe fan, if you are a real OG, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Them Starbucks cups that Rachel Zoe used to be holding was bigger than her face. They was bigger than her body. Okay. So that's what I'm expecting my good old Karen Huger to be looking like the moment she exalts the prison. I want her to come out with a nasty old short pixie wig, right? I want an old nasty flip up like Candy used to have back in the day. Y'all remember when Candy had the red hair? I want her to have a nasty old flip up like that, right? Ginormous sunglasses on, bug-eyed. I want them things to be bug-eyed out. All right. A nice trench overcoat, even though it's 90 degrees outside. Some hot 8-inch stiletto pumps in the club. A ginormous Birkin bag dangling from her elbow. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. What go on, my boo? What go on, my boo? Come on, y'all know about that Rachel Zoe from back in the day. You know what I'm talking about, right? Come on, you ain't miss it, boo. We got it right on time for you.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
How ought to knock my audio out? I mean, my video out. Lord have mercy. All right, I fly above all the haters. I fly above. I fly above. I fly above. It's beneath me. Every man wants a woman. Okay, so let's get into the tea, y'all. I didn't fooled around with y'all enough. Okay, I didn't fool with y'all enough today. Let me figure out how to take it off of this. Okay, let's go. Let's go, Snowflake. All right, so Gizelle and Robyn are blasting the Real Housewives of Atlanta newbie Brittany over her $20 million $20 million, Dwight, and basically says that she never should have been cast in the first place. Gizelle even goes so far as to call out Real Housewives of Atlanta producers, saying, do better. Do better, Real Housewives of Atlanta producers. So let's get into what they had to say. First of all, are you guys watching and listening and tapped in and tuned in to Reasonably Shady? I am not, but I'm not. This is not a knock on them because I'm not going to do that, right? I love when people get on a reality TV show and they get on YouTube or they get on their podcast, because for me, I feel like it's the smart play for you to extend your brand beyond just what people see on the screen. So I'm not hating on Robyn and Gizelle. I think what they did was actually super smart. And it was also a way to keep Robyn as a part of the conversation. Whether people like Robina or not, she's still here. She is still standing. Now, let's get into why the people are really getting into what Gizelle and Robyn had to say, specifically what Gizelle had to say, because a lot of people feel like Britt should never have been cast in the first place. That's basically what I'm gathering from reading the comment section down in the Jasmine Brands post on this matter, right? So I want to take a little bit of a glimpse at what it is specifically that they had to say. Now, Gizelle suggests that if anybody has a valid legal complaint in this situation, it was probably Kenya. Now, I am still confused over everything that has to do with this situation. But I want to point out to you that Kenya, in her latest video, basically stated that she was still employed. She implied, let me put alleged up here because I don't really know. But it felt like to me, and I don't know if it felt like this to you, but it felt like to me, Kenya was implying that she's still employed by the network, which, to be honest with you, it feels now like when I look at that and I look at the season, maybe what they did was just literally suspended Kenya, right? As an act of maybe a show of good faith, or a show of we don't approve of what you did, so you're going to need to sit this out. You're going to need to sit out the reunion, and maybe we'll bring you back in next year. But that's still employed by the network, lets me know the money is still maybe coming in, okay, in some way, shape, or form. Now, I could be wrong. Could be wrong. There was also a brief moment of shade towards Mia when Gizelle says, if you don't show up to the reunion, you're not coming back. That also includes if you get up and walk out of the reunion and you don't finish. She made it a point to say that as well. Personally speaking, if I show up to the reunion, I'm probably going to stay the whole time because I want all my money. Like, I just want give me all my cash that's coming to me. Give me all my things. Like, if y'all want to keep taking shots at me or whatever like that, go ahead and do so. Like, I'm just going to keep taking the money and I'll take the money and run. All right. But I'm not going to leave halfway through because I don't know if I'm going to get my full pay. But since I just showed up here, decked out in the dress and hair and makeup and all the things, then y'all going to give me all my money. Y'all not going to cut me none. Y'all not going to cut out nothing. Okay. But I digress because that's not what this is about. Gizelle goes on to say that she blames production because she wants to know who is doing the background checks, right? She says producers need to do better. Says Britt should have never been cast in the first place. And when Robyn says that Britt may not have revealed her true self during the interview process, Gizelle responded and says there was history on this girl. She was a Stevie J girl. There's so much that should have signaled to them that this was not a good choice. Now, here's the thing that I'm going to say. I think that the casting for Atlanta and Potomac, specifically, are probably very different. I think that also, too, the network seems to have a desire to skew the cast a little younger, specifically in Atlanta, right? I think that they wanted people who were maybe, known for something in Atlanta. And Brittany has been in the news, right? So there would have been nothing more than to do a simple Google search to find out that she had dated Rick Ross. So maybe there was that appeal. The Stevie J stuff, I saw it after she appeared on the show, but I didn't really take that much from it with her being a alleged Stevie J girl. I guess she may have filmed some type of reality show or something like that with him. Really, to me, all it does is show that the girl wanted to be known in some way, shape, or form, or wanted to be on TV, as do all of the reality TV stars that go on these shows. If the girl has said that she had the internet scrubbed of the images or whatever that she had out there from before, then they would not be able to find said images. I'm assuming. I really don't know. But given that the girl in the photos wasn't even her, it's even more peculiar that all of this is happening to me. Now, they're both confused about this whole lawsuit. I'm a little confused about the lawsuit myself. I know that some of you guys have your own explanations as to why you think that Britt is suing. But I guess it's also because there's this little piece of information that is sometimes overlooked in her lawsuit, and that is that there are claims that she asked specifically for the photos so that she could see them for herself, and that the network never showed them to her until the point where she somehow finds out about these photos right before the reunion. That, I'm assuming, is the little nugget that is supposed to have been the thing that maybe triggered this lawsuit, that maybe allegedly they were not giving her the footage for whatever reason to keep this idea going that this was allegedly her in the photos. But to that, I also say, why would they do that? What incentive would they have for wanting to keep that narrative going? Who on earth would want to say, oh, one of our stars of our shows that we just hired, one of our other stars just showed some photos of her and that were really graphic, and oh, oops, we know that those photos aren't her. So we're not going to allow her the honor of feeling better about the situation and knowing that those things weren't her. And then furthermore, she continued to show up to work. She continued to film. She continued to promote. So I guess I just kind of feel like, I don't know, in my mind, I still ask myself the question, do you not feel the slightest bit of relief at this moment? Like, I guess I just don't get it. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. No, I don't understand where Gizelle says that Kenya has the right to take the people to court. Because at the end of the day, Kenya did something that they deemed as not favorable to them. In these types of situations, you can be let go for any cause. So, I don't know. Anyway, that is that. Now check that. Check that, as Phaedra would say. We got to talk about some aftermath activities, okay? A bit of aftermath activities with regards to Basketball Wives. Basketball Wives was turned up this past week. If you happen to miss it, you missed a good one. Okay. If you missed it, you missed a good one. Okay, so let's go back. These are good questions, good points. I think Gizelle meant that Kenya is the one that had the major material loss, not Britt. But if Kenya is still getting paid, was it a loss? She just wasn't on the show. I don't know. That's a good question. Good point. Tiffany says Kenya does because Bravo said they did an investigation. How? And the image wasn't even Britt. Good question as well. Tina says, if the network was aware that the pics were not her and deliberately drive the story to make it seem it was her, then she would have suffered reputational damage for a year plus. And I guess my question is, why would the network deliberately drive that story when the story is really not one that we would want to see? Like, I don't know. It's so fascinating. It is exhausting. It is very exhausting because I don't know where it's supposed to go. And we can only speculate right now because we don't really get it. A lot of us don't, at least me. Jennifer is talking, okay? Auntie wanted a piece of Evelyn. All right. Auntie wanted a piece of Evelyn. Let's get into the tea. Shout out to our friends over at Reality Entertainment TV. Jennifer says, they didn't want no parts of Auntie. All right. And so apparently they all got scared. Someone says they got scared when Jen was calling the Auntie. So Auntie says this: I was ready to pull up. I was down the dang street. She refused to be in scene with me. Don't let her fool you with that tough talk. The car was waiting on standby for me the whole time. I was dressed with my phone in hand waiting. She refused to be in the scene with me. I was waiting for her to buck with her scary butt. Now, I feel two ways about this. All right. I feel two ways about it. And I feel like, here's the thing. I feel like, yes, Evelyn should probably not be running her mouth to the aunt. Like, why are you, at this point, why would you be going back and forth with anybody that you don't know on social media and you are one of the stars of a show? It just seems like, girl, like, don't you have anything better to do? And I get it. You want to beef with one of your castmates. If you are going back and forth with Jennifer, that is one thing. But if you are going back and forth with a family member of the husband who is not a castmate, I just kind of feel like, girl, like, what are we doing? You should be above that just a bit, right? Because you're getting paid to be on this show. And so I get you're being paid to drive story, and you may feel how you feel about the situation. But I think arguing with the people's families and stuff is just crazy to me. Now, I feel the other way about the auntie. There is no way that a cast member on the show would likely ever say, unless that's their family member, yes, I will film with this lady who wants to fight me. Like, I mean, come on. Like, at the end of the day, I get that auntie was riled up and ready to go, and she has every reason to be riled up and ready to go. But the reality is, why would Evelyn say, yes, bring auntie here so she can fight me on camera? It's just not gonna happen. Like, whether or not it is auntie is in the right or auntie's in the wrong, realistically speaking, I don't think that there would be many cast members that would do it, except maybe that if they were on like a baddies show where it seems as though the premise of the show is nuck if you buck. Okay. Now, do I think that this is correct? Yes. I think Ev does a lot of big girl talk, but doesn't want the smoke. But if you were on a show, and this is why I stated in the beginning, if you are on the show, you, meaning one of y'all or me, right? If it's me, I definitely ain't arguing with nobody I don't know. But here's the thing. You are the star of a show. Are you going to really say in the moment, yes, auntie, come down here so that I can give you the opportunity to either read me for filth or beat me down? No. It's just, I mean, again, this is just realistically speaking, who would do that? Now, I do feel like Evelyn said, call auntie, but did she really mean it? Because we all know that Evelyn do a lot of tough talk, right? Production is not going to allow that, right? Because auntie is not signed to be on the show. She might have signed a release to be in certain scenes, but in terms of auntie showing up to the scene ready to throw some bows, like, I don't see production orchestrating that. Like, yes, like, bring auntie down here. Now, again, would I do it? What I said, I don't know. I think if the star was talking big enough talk, but I don't know what the liability for that is in terms of like the network, the production. I mean, you got to think about all of those realities of what could happen if the lady comes down there. Because if you look at the show in this way, and at this point in time, they didn't even let Brittany and Jackie get that close to each other enough for them to even like look like they was about to square up. I mean, I kind of feel like Britney did a lot of that, "Roar," screaming when she was being pulled off into the corner, because she could have been screaming at Jackie while they were sitting face to face, but that did not happen. Okay? It didn't happen. But my thought for you, Evelyn, is don't argue with the people unless you are ready to see the people. Okay? If you're saying, I want the smoke, call her. Don't get on the telly and then be like cowering behind the scenes after you just done said, call her. Okay? Because production not gonna always be there to protect you, and everybody's not playing the reality TV game. Period. And that's just that on that. That's my thoughts. So stop arguing with the people, and then you won't have these problems. Keep it to Jennifer, and let that be it. Because the moment you start getting online and you start clapping back and arguing with the people, family and stuff like that, now you've ushered in something different. That's just my thought. That's just my thought. And again, I'm talking about the reality of real life. Are they really going to let that woman come up in there and fight Evelyn? No, they're not. Okay. And we can talk about tough talk and all that stuff all we want to, but the reality is they're not going to let it happen. Not right now. Now, maybe in the old days they might have, but not in today's environment. They're just not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. Oh, hold on. You sent the messages. Hold on. Oh, can I mention this? Be more shorty. Let me know if I can mention it before you go. I don't want to spill the tea. Cause I ain't trying to get you in trouble or nothing like that. I ain't trying to get you in trouble, but from what I understand right here, there could be a possibility of maybe Karen being let out sooner than later. That's what I'll say. Okay. It could be a situation where she could be on home monitoring and probation could potentially start in September of 2025. Okay. So that could be, like we did say, September. Okay. Joggers. Thank you. Be more shawty. We appreciate you. And we send you tidings and greetings and good cheer. Okay. So let's hear it for the girls. September. Karen, let's go. Let's go, Karen. Karen, I need you again. That candy hair flipped up in the front, slicked down on the sides, big old sunglasses, big gulp Starbucks bottle, cup in your hand, Birkin dangling from your elbow, trench coat on in the 90-degree weather, and some stilettos pumps in the club. And I want you to hit it harder than Tiana Taylor was pumping it in that movie Straw. Okay. I want you to hit it harder than Tiana Taylor was pumping it down them streets in that movie Straw. Now, note, I did not see Straw. Okay. I'm going to be for real with you, but I have seen the clips of Tiana Taylor pumping it down them sidewalks, pumping it. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. No spoiler alerts. None here. Okay. None here. But I'm just saying, I need to see Karen pumping it in September. If you know, you know. Bling. Okay. So let's get back to it. Jennifer then says, now, why nobody wanted Auntie to come, but got all this stuff to say about her? Make it make sense. Who is the real Goofy? Who is the real Goofy? Who is the real Goofy? We got some more tea to discuss with regards to the fallout from Basketball Wives. If you missed this episode, like I said, this episode was lit to the lit. Oh, before I go there, I like this comment, and I want to. Jewel basically makes the point that I'm telling you guys. If it is not cast member to cast member, it's irrelevant. Don't even get in a spot on social media, and no monetization either. Not next. That's what I'm saying. You ain't being paid to fight with these folks on social media that you don't know. So why would you be doing it in the first place? It makes absolutely no sense to me. It's completely nonsensical. I never understand why people do that. And to me, Evelyn should know better. Period. Stilettos, pumps in the club. Click, clack, click, clack. If you know, you know. You got to see it. Just look up Tiana Taylor walking in straw on TikTok. Okay. They done gave TikTok another 90 days. So you got 90 more days to check. Okay. They'll probably give TikTok another 90 days after that. TikTok gonna be on a forever 90-day grace period. So you got 90 more days, and then 90 more days, and then 90 more days, and then 90 more days before they decide whatever they're gonna do with TikTok. So I'm just letting you guys know right now. I saw it on the news. All right, let's move on. Bloop. More tea from Basketball Wives fallout. Fun stuff. All right, so Brittany then posts this, and she says, "All water is not created equal." Laughing my A off. Now, what she means by this is what you can't see in this photo right here. Can you guys see the photo? What you can't see is that Jackie did indeed have two different glasses. Now, I don't know what was in either glass, but what I can say is that this glass here definitely gives beverage cup with two limes. It's definitely looking like vodka soda with two limes. Now, I don't know what's in that cup. Okay. I don't know what's in that cup. But all I can say is Jackie had two different cups at two different times. That's what she meant. So you can't see it in this photo, but I'm just letting you know the top photo is the short glass, the bottom photo is the big glass. Now, chime down in the chat if you feel like Jackie was drinking and let me know what you think was in that glass if you think that she was. I don't feel like maybe Jackie was telling the truth in that moment, right? In that moment, she might have had water in her cup. You know, the ice could have diluted it such that all you tasted was water. You know, it could have been so much ice in the glass that once it melted, it was actually more water than anything else. I really don't know. But it definitely looked like she had a tall glass of water. I agree with you, Angela. It looked like she had a tall glass of water, and in that short glass, definitely looked like, I don't know. It was definitely given vodka soda. Okay, that's what it looked like. But that's just me and Clarice. Okay, and Miss T and Auntie Kim and the real Tanzanian. Now, I don't know if Brittany was drinking or not. Y'all say it was martini glasses on the table, but I don't know if they were hers or were they Chantel's. Like, is Brittany supposed like not supposed to drink? I really don't know what the situation is. I don't know enough about Brittany's process, so to know whether or not she is drinking or not. So I can't really say. It could have been gin and tonics. You know, I mean, I have no idea. Okay. Alcohol, water. All right. A lot of people do this. You just never know. You just never know. So then the other thing that Britt says is had the nerve to threaten me with a good time and didn't follow through. Disappointed in you, large lady. Oh. Oh. Not large lady. Not the large lady. Oh Lord. Mm. Mm. Now check that, she said. Now check that. But let's go over and shout out to my boo reality chat. Because there is more. Okay. So it's funny because Jackie then responds to Brittany's shade and basically is like, well, hold up now. Hold up. You saying all of this, but just recently, you said this.
Tonight with these beautiful ladies and the Queen Christie, ho, kiss the ring.
You was just calling her Queen Christie. So, I mean, is it Queen Christie or large lady? Which one is it? Or maybe she think it's both. Is it Queen Christie or large lady? Which one is it? Listen, life comes at you fast, okay? Life comes at you fast. In the blink of an eye, all right? Listen. Listen, Linda. Listen. But not only that, y'all, not only that, but you know, Chantel is on social media as well. And she too has some things to say about her mother. Yes, her mother of it all. She has a lot of things to say, actually, to be honest with you. And again, I got to reference Reality Chat. I'll put all the links in the description down below. She's had a lot of comments. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I mean, there's a lot of comments out there that she's responded to about this situation. But someone said, maybe I'm missing something. Jackie has treated all her kids all kinds of ways over the years, and she's shown us who she is on TV. Y'all being more mad at Chantel than Jackie is so confusing. And then Chantel says, it's not even confusing. It's just clear that this demographic of viewers was raised by the do as I say, not as I do. You'll respect me by any means necessary, even if I do you dirty type parents. And that's why they're so triggered by me. And to that I say, Chantel, no, that's not it. It would be easier for you to think that. And I get that. Because if you're thinking that it is this demographic, the demographic for the show that you chose to be on, like the issues that you had with Brandy could have simply stayed your issues with Brandy. Period. Point blank. Anytime your mom tried to help, from what we could see, she was either met with, "Don't help me. I don't need your help. Don't leave with me. Don't show me solidarity in the way that you want to do it." Or, well, she didn't come to my defense. She didn't say anything to Brandy. Which is it? Do you want to handle these situations on your own as a responsible adult in these situations? Which you can clearly do. We see you can easily stand up for yourself. Or is mom supposed to come and step in and help you? Because you need to be very clear about which one is it. Which one do you want? Because it's confusing to us as the audience. That's really it. So it's a little bit easier to take Jackie's side in this because we could see that she was doggone it if she did, and she was doggone it if she didn't. What do you want her to do? Because I think we're confused. We're just as confused as she is. So unless you can lay a clear-cut plan and a map out for us, a diagram, if you will, and you can put it into ChatGPT and allow it to show us in clear, color-coordinated terms what route Jackie should have taken so that you would have been pleased with her, all right, in this situation. What should she have done? Because you have not cleared that out for us. And then furthermore, why then would you bring up calling your dad on your mom? For what? If you had kept your frustrations with Brandy to just Brandy, then you wouldn't be in this situation because your frustrations with Brandy could have been perceived as valid. But now they almost feel null and void because these issues with your mom are superseding the issues that were actually, again, could have been valid that you had with Brandy. Had you just simply settled these things like two adults, then you wouldn't even find yourself in this predicament that you are in today, thinking that everyone is taking your mother's side. And granted, we all readily admit we don't know what has gone on between you and Jackie all of these years. We have no idea, but you are bringing those issues and that PTSD into this situation for which we know nothing about. Period. So if you don't want these issues discussed, then don't bring them to the forefront. And if you can't interact with her without being reminded of all of those things that she has done to you, then that is something for you to deal with and maybe stay away. Because she was on this show from its inception. That's just where it starts and stops for me. Stanielle Boo says, Chantel, baby, you may need some therapy. Also, do what? Wait, respect your boundaries or not. Grow up. I mean, do you want her to respect your boundaries or? I mean, that's it. That's the bottom line. What do you want her to do? If you could clearly let us all know so that we could figure it out, that way we could maybe have your back in this situation, but we don't understand it. Like, really, tell us what the thing is. Otherwise, stop talking about it. Stop talking around it, because it's maybe the girls on the show know, and maybe that's why it's easier for them to take your side. But as an audience, it feels frustrating, and it feels like we're being left out of something that we haven't quite figured out. But from what we can see, it basically looks like you're picking and choosing when you want to be upset, and whether or not she did what you wanted to do, you were upset regardless. So I don't know what you thought everyone was gonna think. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the whole "don't make me call dad" was so confusing to me. I get, like, what are you gonna call dad for? On the fact that your friend tried to fight your mama? And your mama wasn't having it? And you didn't check your friend? Your friend called your mama a bitch. Your friend threatened to beat your mama. Is nobody gonna talk about that? Nobody gonna talk about it? Because you told the other people nobody can talk about your kids, right? But shouldn't the same go for your mama too? I get that you have an issue with your mama, but you can't let somebody else have an issue with your mama. That's wild to me. That is wild. I don't even know where they do that at. I don't know, friends. I don't know. And again, it's tough for me because I really like Chantel. I like the fact that she, with regards, at least before this incident, I felt like she could stand up for herself with the group, with the girls, with Brandy. They had a natural beef, and it's going to be like, can they resolve it or not? I just thought that she was like the fish out of water, which is always refreshing on these shows. But it has become clear, blatantly clear after this episode, that there is a larger issue at play that it was hinted at with the trailer, right? It was hinted at with the trailer when we see the trailer of the two of them popping off at each other. But now we're seeing it play out and we're like, oh, ooh, whoa, whoa, okay, this too much. This too merge. So, I know it sounds like some harsh critique at times, but I like Chantel, but I just think that this whole beef with her mom, like, y'all got to sort that out. Y'all got to sort that out, because it's given she was going to be doggone if she did, doggone if she didn't, and it's exhausting to try to figure it out. And I think we're going to be even more exhausted in the next coming weeks. Yeah. Exhaustication. Exhaustified. I am exhausted. We are weary. All right. So let us know what you guys think about these stories. Kind of like today, dealing with a lot of aftermath, right? Aftermath of the Real Housewives of Atlanta stuff, aftermath of the Basketball Wives stuff. So I'm interested to see what the next steps in these situations really will be, right? That's what I'm interested in seeing. Can we resolve these things? Because when they were doing press, Jackie was basically like, when I think even she did press with Carlos, it was asked about her Mount Rushmore of of Basketball Wives, and she put Chantel on there. So, but I think clearly Jackie is just riding for her daughter no matter what. Stenio says, I actually thought for once Jackie was handling things well, but now I'm side-eyeing Brandy now. The flip-flop of it all was crazy. Yeah, for Brandy and, you know, Chantel, I feel so bad for Chantel. Listen to me. Listen to me. Your mama, you got to get it right with your mom. I'm sorry. It was a lot. I was like, girl, you're going to take her head off of her body. Let her face go. Brandy got a problem with her hands. Okay. Now that I think about it, Brandy, your biggest problem is your hands. And whatever they're doing. All right. Because they had gripped that girl's face so tight. Ooh. I thought she was going to crush her skull. So anyway, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you have answers to some of the confusion that we have been talking about, let us know. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. With that being said, make sure you guys like this video if you like reality TV related content. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And I will, of course, catch you guys in the next video.